If you have ever documented a web API before, especially a RESTful API, you probably have heard of or actually used SwaggerUI. SwaggerUI, along with similar tools like readme.com or Redocly, can take in an open API specification of your entire backend system and create an interactive web page that lists on the endpoints, the methods, operation, example value, response schema, query string, or parameters, so that your entire team know exactly what to expect when calling this endpoint. And among these solutions, SwaggerUI is one of these longest running industry standard tool, but I think it also has its fair share of problem. Therefore, recently I was looking for some alternative, and I came upon this awesome tool, absolutely stunning, beautiful, Rapidocweb.com, that I think is going to make your teammates say, whoa. Let's get started. First, let's talk a little bit about Swagger UI and some of my personal issue with it. This is a Swagger Pet Store site, which is a demo site for Swagger UI. And as you can see here, it can take in an open API JSON object, which looks like this. So we have an open API field that's specified in the version, and here in the path, you declare all the different endpoints of your system. Here's a path with a put methods. Here's a summary description, request body. Here's a response schema is 200, 400, or 404. Also post request, get request with query string parameters. There's a whole specification to document your entire backend system at the Open API website. And as a result, Swagger is able to pass on that, make it into an interactive website as a live documentation of your entire backend. So if I click on one endpoint here, all the details are unfolded. You can see the description. There's no parameter for this route. This is the example value for the pet schema, which has an ID field as an integer, name is a string, and status is an enum array of available, pending, or sold. So that's pretty neat. But even a cooler feature is the try it out feature, where I can easily make a request to the backend system just by changing here what I want here, hit the execute, and Swagger actually make an actual HTTP request to your backend system, which is really useful for different teams to easily test and see what the response is going to look like. I think these are pretty neat features. SwaggerUI are awesome as a live documentation for your backend system, but I think it also has a little bit of UI flaw that I find very awkward at times. For example, I think that the try it out flow is a little bit unintuitive. So if I go here, you can see that there's an input box here, but I can really select it. I have to click try it out and then change the value here and then hit execute. Another thing is Swagger UI is really not utilizing the horizontal space well. Everything is laid out a little bit vertically, so sometimes you have to really scroll a lot to find what you're looking for, and then have to scroll back up. And another thing that I find really hard to really see the schema in an intuitive way. I think this way looks a bit confusing, and then you have to click on all the different property, and they don't really look nice either. And with Swagger UI, you also don't have a lot of customization option, and they don't have a dark theme also, which I think is really crucial for developer nowadays. So these are some of my pet peeves with Swagger UI. This is not a bash on Swagger UI. I think it is an awesome product with really reasonable defaults. But I think for power user or for user that is more focused on the aesthetic aspect, there can be better option out there. And let me introduce you to Rapidoc. So you can visit Rapidoc at the rapidocweb.com website, and similar to SwaggerUI, Rapidoc is also an open API specification viewer, but the team really focuses more on the design aspect. You can create your own theme really simply. You can have multiple rendering styles. You can write Markdown. You have two beautiful ways to show object model. And if I click on the quick start demo here, it has native support for a dog theme, which is super awesome. Let's scroll down to see the endpoint. Boom, I think this design looks much more slick and modern. We click on here, see all the details here, layout in a horizontal design that really make good use of space and tabs. Every detail is really concise, and what my favorite thing is the example tab here. You can actually edit it right now and then hit the try button in one go. One click for the try it out feature, and you still have the same benefit as SwaggerUI, just with a little bit more better user experience. Overall, I really like the design that the Rapidoc team has made, and what's cool about them is they offer a ton of customization options. And the coolest thing about Rapidoc is they have a tons of customization options. If you click at examples here and go to list of all examples, you can see all the different things that Rapidoc could do. For example, they have different render styles. There's a standard view style, where you just view all of your specification from start to end. But there's also the read style, with a very useful left sidebar navigation to go directly to where you want. There's a focus style, where you can only view one thing at a time. That's very cool, but you can also change the theme. The default color theme are very beautiful. Or you can also change the schema style. You can have this table view for your schema, or you can also have the tree view. Additionally, it also can change header color, change the logo, have links, have markdown support, file upload, arranging tag, additional properties. There's a ton of options and customization for Rapidoc, and that's why I love it so much. And the whole project is open source. If you don't like something about Rapidoc, or if you want to suggest something, you can go make an issue or pull request, or even fork and create your own Rapidoc, and then you can build and distribute the script onto a CDN for your entire team to use. So that's why my backend is now going to be using Rapidoc going forward, and I really recommend Rapidoc for anyone. Let me know what you guys think about Rapidoc versus SwaggerUI in the comments below. And that's it for this video. Bye.